All right, I just got it going again. Let's see if we can pick up. All right, are we live again?
I don't see it yet, but let's give it a second.
All right. All right, everybody, let me know if you're live, if we're live again. Somehow we totally lost our connection. Okay, Margie says we're back up. She says, now you're okay.
Okay, it's back.
Okay, shoot, I don't know what's going on. Do we have bad weather outside?
Nope.
All right, well, something's going on.
Weather doesn't interfere with internet.
Okay, so, all right, so let me move on from where we are, where we were. So this is what I started with. I happen to have a stack. I mean, I literally just get these like on Amazon. It's just a stack of chipboard. These are 4x6. So since I had 4x6 on hand, that's what I decided to grab. So I actually grabbed 3 of them that were 4x6. You were going to use 2 4x6, and then this one I end up trimming for the edge. That's what I used to create the edge. So you're going to need 2 of these. So write this down. You need 2 pieces of chipboard that are 4x6, and then you're going to need 1 piece of chipboard that is 1 inch by 4 inches. So I'm going to end up cutting this one to 1 by 4. And then you're also going to need 1 sheet of 12 by 12 paper. So this is where I grabbed, I went through, this is what I grabbed. I wanted mine to just be really, really light and airy on the front. So I went with this one that is like almost like a little polka dot, and it's on the back of a busier one. I'm going to do this next album with a different sheet of paper. So I'm not going to use the side that has a lot more color. I think I'm going to use something that is, a little more subdued, so it gives me a really pretty background. Is something wrong, Alan?
I want you to flip to wireless, because I think it's the wired connection that's the problem.
Oh, shoot. I don't think I can do that
Yeah,
while I'm
just flip
on.
to
Can I?
wireless. Yes.
All right, hold on. He wants me to switch to wireless. Are we still on?
So far.
Okay. All right, well, hopefully this will be better. Oh, goodness. This isn't one, there's a lot to this little book thing, so I'm hoping that this isn't one that we want to be going back and forth on. All right, so I'm going to grab a pattern paper that is a little more subdued on the back side. So let's grab something that is nice and light. And I think I'm going to do this stripe. So I used the little dots on the first one, and I'm going to go with the stripes this time. Are we doing better now?
Hope so.
All right, I hope so too. Okay. So the first thing, oh shoot, Ann, let me do me a favor and get my longer paper trimmer that's over there. Sorry, Sue, I see your message. She had to go out and come back in again. The live quit. We've switched it now to back to wireless to see if maybe that will help. So hopefully we won't have any more issues. Okay, so I'm going to take this sheet of paper, and I have to decide which way I want my stripes to go on my book. Okay, the papers are going to go the long way like this. I don't think I want my stripes to go that way, to go horizontally. I think I want my stripes on my book to go vertically. I think it'll look better because I'll see like the little stripes on the edge here. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and rotate my paper, and I'm going to cut this in half at 6 inches. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and trim this at 6. All right. And then the next thing I need to do here is pieces together. I'm going to put my stripes on the outside, but one might think I would put the blues next to each other, but I don't want to do that. I like to have that kind of rainbow that goes on and on. So I'm going to flip these over, and I'm going to actually tape these together right here on the seam. So I've got my double-sided tape. Let me get my scissors. And I'm literally just going to tape this together right on the edge. I'm going to trim that so it's straight. I could tear it, but whenever I tear it, it's never straight, and it drives me bonkers. So just go ahead and peel this up. There we go. If any of the tape is hanging over, just fold it back. And now I'm going to just adhere these. There we go. Just make sure it's straight and press it together. All right. So now this is what it looks like. Okay. Next thing I need to do, I'm going to trim this little piece here. So I'm going to set this aside. Let me get my book out of here. I'm going to set that aside. And I've got these two pieces are, like I said, 6 or 4 by 6. And this one I need to trim but to 1 by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one to 1 inch. Go in the other direction. There we go. 1 inch. Let's see if it cut. If it doesn't cut all the way through, just flip it over and do the other side. Should have done it. Let me do it again. There we go. All right, so I can set this piece aside now. Now these are going to go like that, all right? So now I need to get adhesive on one side of each of these. So I've got this big old honkin' roll of double-sided tape. Isn't that gargantuan? Again, Amazon. This thing must weigh 5 pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and roll some. And I'm just going to lay my full here. So, all right. What?
If I were a self-healing mat, where would I be?
You would be underneath all that stuff right there on my desk. Actually, you know what? You know what? I might have a self-healing mat right there behind the sofa. Is there a little pink one? Is there a little pink one?
A little pink one. I don't see any little.
Yeah. Got stuff all over this studio. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and trim this like this for now. Huh? Yeah, I don't want the really big gargantuan ones. It would really be nice, though, if I had my self-healing mat. I don't think that's self-healing, honey.
Yeah. Maybe we just let it bleed.
What?
Maybe we just let it bleed.
That's kind of gross, Alan. I'm not even going to tell you what he said. Okay. This other little piece here that I just trimmed off, I can actually use on my smaller piece. And then I'm just going to trim that as well. If you have a self-healing mat, like I do on the other side of the studio, then you could just use, you know, a blade and trim it, which is what I would normally do. I wouldn't be sitting here fussing like this with scissors that are not designed to have sticky stuff all over them. But this is what you do when you're live in front of people and you don't have all of your tools handy. This is how you do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim these things off here because I don't want all this excess. There we go. I would use my Fiskars scissors, except that I want the longer scissors on this because I'm cutting something that is really long. Oh, for goodness sake. Oy vey. I can't get the tape off my hands. All right, so I need one more. I got to do one more here. This is where, like, when you're not live, you can just kind of like restart again. You know, you can pause it or you can edit it out and all that good stuff. But I'm live, so I can't do that. Okay. All right, let me trim this off of here now. All right, there we go. So that big old roll is done. Let me just get this off of here real quick, this excess. And then this side. If it's not perfect, don't worry about it because you can just literally just bend it back. All right. There we go. And of course the tape comes off. There we go. Okay. Oh my God. All right. So now we have these pieces, all right? It doesn't matter if it's not all the way to the edge, that's okay. And now I have this really long piece here. So I'm going to go ahead and lay these on here. I am going to lay this right over that seam because I want to have that seam is going to be, that it'll get covered up because I'm going to put it in the center piece there. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down my first piece. I've got a little tool here, just a little blade. This will help me get this started. All right, let's lift that up. I don't want to lift up the tape too. So there we go. Okay. So I'm going to kind of eyeball this. I'm going to put this center one, is going to be roughly in the center. I just want to make sure that this piece is as straight as I can get it. I'm just going to look up in the camera. I'm on the wrong side. Oh my goodness, that would have been detrimental because I don't want the strawberries on the outside. There we go. So let me see if that is kind of straight, roughly straight. Looks straight, so I'm going to lay that down. And now I want to have a little spacer here, so I grabbed, this is a 1/4 inch. I was using a 1/2 inch roll first. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch piece here, and I'm going to butt that right up against my chipboard. Give that a little bit of a trim. That's going to give me a spacer. Now I have my other piece, which is my shorter for the center. All right, and I'm going to now butt that up against the tape. I'm going to look in the camera because I would normally put my head over the top of this to make sure I'm lining up my edges right. I'm hoping I am because I can't really see it that well. And then again, I'm going to do another little spacer right up against it. All right. And then this piece is going to be the other side. And I'm going to butt that right up against the other spacer. And hopefully, let me look in the camera and make sure that these are even. Hopefully they are. It's hard to tell from the angle that I'm at. Okay. All right, so let's just make sure everything is good and flat. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and trim off some of this excess because I don't need it all. Just going to leave a little bit on the end there, a little bit on this end. I can actually save these two pieces here and do something else with those, maybe on the inside as I'm working with that. Okay. And now, so this is what we have going on right now. So I'm going to cut these ends a little bit just to kind of miter them. If you have a little miter tool, you could use that, but I'm just going to go ahead with scissors and kind of cut an angle. And I want to come up close to the corner. Alan, do you want to give me a closer shot here? Here's where I want to get close to the corner, but I don't want to meet the corner of that chipboard. So I'm just going to go just like this. Yes, I do eyeball it. You eyeballing me, boy? Isn't that from something?
Yes.
What's that from?
Officer and a gentleman.
Officer and a gentleman. All right, there you go. I'm going to do that and see I left a little bit of space, maybe about 1/8 inch. You eyeballing me, boy? An officer and a gentleman. All right. Let's get the other one. And there we go. So So there's my corners, all right? Now, I'm gonna take my, this is a 1/2 inch double-sided tape, and I'm gonna go ahead and put tape around each of these sides here. I don't really care if it hangs over or not, because I can always trim it. All right, let me get my tape, trim this edge. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put a second one here. If there's room for it, you don't have to put the second one, but if there's room for it, actually, I'm going to do it on this side. I think I'm going to put a single there, or a 1/4 inch there instead of a 1/2 inch, because I don't want to go way over the edge. There we go. Put that down, right up to the edge. And now I'm going to grab my other side, or my other size, which is my 1/4 inch, and just add some extra tape here, right up against it. If it doesn't go right up against it, it doesn't really matter. All right, it's not a big deal. Let's do this side as well. I'm going to put 2 rows here. I could have used my 1/2 inch, but I've already got this one in my hand, so I just went with it. All right. What kind of tape am I using? It's Sukwang, otherwise known, Sukwang is like the actual, name of it. But, it's known as score tape. I think scrapbook.com has branded this as their own as well. There's a lot of companies that have branded it, but it's Sukwang. It's all the same. Alrighty, but this, I will tell you, it is phenomenal tape. This is like excellent, excellent, excellent double-sided tape. This stuff, you could literally catch bugs with this stuff. That's how strong it is.
So you won't need me next time?
No, I definitely need you to catch the bugs, my dear, to kill the bugs. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim off all those little pieces that are extra, that are hanging over the edge. This is why I don't worry about them hanging over, because I can just come in and trim them. It's not a big deal. But this way, because I've gone over the edge a bit, I know my tape goes all the way to the end. And that's more important than having to take a minute to trim this off of here. Okay. Get all these little pieces out of here. All right. Well, we're going to have a mess to clean up here. Now, all this extra here, I'm going to go ahead and trim that. Alan, you want to come back out to camera too? I just want to trim these off of here now. Any extra that is coming up over, like beyond the tape, because I don't want those little loose edges. All right. Let's see. Oops. Try and cut straight. I could have put this into my larger paper trimmer, I think. It's small enough to do that, but this way works fine too. Okay. Now comes some of the fun part. I'm going to go ahead and lift up the tape that's in these centers here. Get rid of that, not the tape, but the that extra little, little tape cover. All right, because I want those areas to be, I don't want this, if I leave this tape in the center there, it's going to interfere with how those bend and move. So I don't want that paper in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and start with one long side. And this is where we just have to be a little bit patient. All right, so lift that off of there. And I'm going to prop this up, and I'm going to slowly start to bend this up. I'm going to work it so that I don't tear my paper. I want to stretch it slowly. So I'm pressing down and rotating at the same time just to get a nice stretch out of the paper. If you do this too fast, too far, all in one shot, you could risk splitting your paper, and you don't want to do that. All right. There we go. All right, so I have a nice edge there. It's not split. It looks really good. All right, so now I'm going to do the other long side. Let's see. For goodness sakes, there we go. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bend that up and just work it slowly. Apply some pressure so that it gets a really nice crease in the paper. There we go. There we go, and then we go over. All right. All right, just use the bone folder to get a nice crease on there. Doesn't that look good? Looks good. Love it. Okay, now we're going to do the ends. All right, and do the same thing here with each end. Just flip that up and over. Get a nice crease. There we go. Look how pretty. All right. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Now, you know, my corners aren't perfectly mitered. If I had used a miter tool, they would be, but you know what? I don't worry about that stuff. There we go. There we go. All right, so now we have that. Next thing, I want to get these bent up a little bit because I got to bend the paper in the back here. So I've got two sides of this part here I want to bend up. So I'm going to bend up first to go against this one, and I'm going to put pressure here on that edge, and I'm going to bend that up. Same kind of thing, just work it so you don't tear your paper, and bend that in. Now I'm going to do it with this side on this one, same kind of thing. Just work that, stretch the paper. This is the most patient you're going to have to be with this, I promise you. I'm going to turn it, rotate it, and do this edge now. Just work that and stretch the paper. And now this edge. So you have 4 edges there that you want to do. There we go. So now I should be able to get that book kind of look there. See that? Isn't that pretty? That look good? So we're going to keep working that a little bit. And you can go ahead and, you know, press out these edges, you know, nicely with your bone folder if you want to be, you know, that particular with them too. This one I'm not happy with. This one is where that seam is. I think I wanted the seam to be more here. I have the seam almost on one of the edges, which I'm not in love with. So next time I do that, I'll have to be more careful so that I don't get that seam right on the edge. There we go. but I think it's still going to work. Okay, so I do want to have kind of a binding there, and then I want to finish that off on the inside as well. So I'm going to choose a different paper. Actually, I think I might choose, do I want this one? No, I want more of a solid. So here I'm going to go to one of my 4x9s. And let's see what we've got left in here. I may have to grab a different one. Let me see what patterns I have. Let me go to my 6x6. This is where I love having all different sizes for these things, because I can choose all kinds of different fun things. How about that one on the edge? That might be kind of pretty.
What do you mean by the edge?
I'm going to wrap the binding on the back there, and then on the inside. So I'm going to do that one. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so for this, I need to have 2 pieces that are going to be, actually, do I do this first? Let me see. I think I need to get 2 pieces on the inside here first to cover this. Then I do those center pieces. All right. I have to check my notes on those. So let me grab these again. And I think I'm going to do maybe this on one. You just have to choose pretty paper. Well, it's all pretty, but... And I do want the paper to be going horizontally because of how I'm going to open up this book. So let's do these 2. So I think I'm going to put flowers on this side, and I'm going to do this on this side. Now, I need these to be roughly 5 7/8 long by 3 7/8 wide, because I don't want this to go all the way to the edge. I want to have a little bit of a frame there. So yes, you are correct. You cannot choose wrong with this paper, but I am particular. I am weird with it. So I need 5 7/8 in length for each of these, and always set these little scraps aside because you're going to use those on the inside, right, as we start decorating. So 5 7/8, and then I'm going to trim this other side to 3 7/8, just a little bit off the end there. And then the same goes with this one. I'm going to trim it off the bottom. There we go. And so now you can see this one is going to fit. See how it has just that little bit of frame around there? Nicely. You can see that little bit of edge hanging over, and it just looks really pretty. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get some adhesive on here. I am going to go all the way up the side there. And I think I got a little too far from the edge on that one. So I do want to make sure that these edges are good and flat and straight. That looks good. Look how pretty that is already. I'm telling you, this paper is just stunning. Again, we are going to be out of this paper in no time. So if you like it, I would say get it. Don't wait. I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to put the orange kind of color on the outside there. Just make sure that is straight. Looks good. Okay, look how pretty. It's a beautiful book already. Ah, love it. Okay, now for the for the binding on the edges, on the edge and then on the inside here, I need 2 pieces that are going to be 3 7/8 by 2 1/2. So let's see. We're going to go to 3 7/8 here. Save that piece. And then 2 1/2. I hope that's going to be enough. Let me double check because I know it was on the first one that I did. No, I think I need to go 2 1/2. Yep. Yeah, that's still going to work. Okay. So 3 and, what was this? 3 7/8 by 2 1/2. I can always cut another sheet if I need to, but I don't like to waste. So hopefully I'm doing this right. Okay, again, save those pieces. All those little bits and pieces you can use. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is the outside. So you can see here where I've got these lines. I'm going to actually score these. This is where I had folded. And I just want to score along those just to really see how pretty that's looking now. Where's the other one? It's in there. It's right on that seam. So I just want to define that on the outside. Score that really good. All right. And then this piece is going to lay, oh shoot, I didn't make it long enough. Did I do it the wrong way? I cut my paper wrong. All right, I've got to do that again. I cut my paper wrong. 3 7/8. Oopsie, I read that wrong. All right, hold on, sorry. I cut that wrong because it actually has to wrap around. The 2 1/4, 3 7/8. I think it's supposed to be 4 7/8. So I'm going to choose a different paper. It's fun when things don't work out, isn't it? See, had I been thinking about that measurement and paid attention, because this is 4, right? So 3 7/8 isn't going to cut it. It has to wrap around to the other side. So I think it's supposed to be 4 7/8. I wrote it wrong. I need more paper, Alan.
I think you got plenty of paper.
No, I need, you know what? I'm going to go with this one on the outside. So let me do this. 4 7/8. And if I might have to cut that down. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And then 2 1/2. Yep, see how it's longer now? That's what I needed right there. Okay, so I'm going to put paper here. I think I'm still going to be able to use that gold on the inside though. And that's going to work really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and lay adhesive here, right up against my little edges, right up against those scored seams there. Just like so. Give that a little trim. And then I'm going to put a thinner piece. Let me make sure I have enough. Yep, I'm going to put another piece on either side of that. Where is it? Here it is. There you go. And then one more here. Make sure these are wide enough and they cover it perfectly. All right. So one thing I will tell you is you want to open up lift up the paper off of the center and get these open and ready for your paper to go down. But with the little ones that are on the side, you want to be careful with those. I'm going to flip up any extra. These on the side here, I don't want to go all the way back with those. So let me flip up that tape. I'm going to bend this down just a little bit and then fold it over so that I can peel that back as needed once I get the other positioned. So just kind of angle that a little bit. That's going to give me a little bit of working space. Lay this on here. Make sure that it's covering my tape, and it is. And I'm going to make this straight. Give a little bit of overhang on both sides. Let me do it this way. I'm right-handed. It's hard to do when I can't get my head right over it. I know I complain about that a lot, so I'm so sorry. Okay, there we go. I think that's good. Look straight. Press that down in the center. And now I'm going to slide the one side out, tape it, slide the other side out, and tape it. Okay? And now these other ends are going to come up and over, and then up and over, just like so. All right, so we need a little bit of tape on those. I know this seems like it's tedious work, and it is, but I promise you it is worth it because it's so pretty when you're done. So there's the one side. I'm going to roll that up and over. Don't have to work that as much because it's so small. Okay, but it comes down over that edge. And then this one, put it right up to the edge of my paper. There you go. Get that off of there. Roll it so it's good and tight. There you go. Press it in. All right. Now, we got to work those edges again, right? We have another layer to work those edges. We're going to fold that in. This does take a little bit of work. Again, I promise you it is worth it because you end up with a beautiful book in the end. There we go. Let's get this side. There we go. There we go. Look how pretty that is. A little binding on there. It's so pretty. Now for the inside, I think I can use one of these pieces. See how that goes right up there and it covers? That's what I wanted to do on the other side. So I think I just had the measurement written wrong. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply some more tape. Do the same kind of thing. Somebody is saying, can you show that planner you made with the same paper? The little one or the one with the calendar? I think she might mean the one with the calendar that's over in a box over there in the other area over there. At the bottom, over there in a box. Okay, let me see how far this is going to overhang. So it's going to be the same width. So I have my guide for my tape. At the bottom on the right, Alan. Nope, bottom on the right, honey. Alan, look at me. Over there, on that side. Yep. All right, make sure my tape doesn't go up too high. And you know what, if it does, it's not a big deal because you can always just kind of roll it back, fold it back. There we go, another piece.
I don't think it exists
Oh, it's right behind me. It is. It's right behind me. I'm so sorry, honey. That was a wild Allen chase.
Talk to me, Goose.
Oops, I didn't want to peel that one all the way up. Let's put that back and just fold that down a little bit. I like to fold it down just a little bit just so I make sure that I have everything straight. Okay, now line this up. Now I'm going to line it up so I go right up to, Alan, you want to come in a little bit closer here?
Sure. Why
Okay.
not?
You see where this these pages come right up here because they were the same. They were 3 7/8. So I'm going up to those edges with this. So I'm sticking with that edge and with this edge. There and there. I do think that that is going to do it. So now I can peel that out and peel that one. A little extra tape there, so I'm going to tuck that up under. All right, so now and give that a little bend. There we go, a little bend. Now give this one a bend. Notice I'm doing this in each of these phases because I don't want to be bending multiple layers of paper at a time. That doesn't work as well. So I press down and then roll it. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my bone folder and get these ends. You want to be careful with this part. You don't want to go too hard with that because you don't want to tear that paper. But I do want to press in the nice edge here in both directions. I think that's important because it gives you a nice wide bend to it. All right, there we go. And just keep working it. I like to bend them backwards and forwards like this so it really kind of gets it broken in. Okay, right now it's still opening a little bit wide, so I'll keep working that. And it just kind of starts to stretch that paper. So you do that a little bit and over time it'll work it out. We can work it out. We can work it out. Look how cute. Yay! Love it. So that is the bound book. And then you can open it. See, it opens up all the way. And it closes. Okay. What time is it? 7:56 already, and I've only done this part. Yikes! Well, you guys mind if we go over a few minutes? I think we're going to have to go over a few minutes because we kept, I know, Alan's glaring at me like, I'm hungry. But it's not my fault that we were having internet trouble. We would have gotten farther if we weren't having internet trouble. Okay, isn't that cute? No, we're just going to cover the front. That's all I want to do is cover the front. Okay, so let's come back out to camera 2. And I'm going to grab some of my other little supplies that I told you I was going to be working with. Let me move some of these things over a bit. Move some of my things. I can't get to some of my stuff. So here we go. Where are my... Sorry, I need a couple of things here. Okay. All right, this is what I need right here. So now I have my One Fine Day ephemera. And I'm going to set my little, that up aside. Oh, and I also need some coordinating cardstock. So I chose, let's see, what do I have here? This isn't cardstock, this is some of my paper. I chose to work with this pretty little kind of purpley pink here. And I'm going to go ahead with just these pieces here. So I have my One Fine Day ephemera enamel dots, which I'm going to set aside right up here. This is just a little scrap piece. See what I mean? I keep all of my stuff. If there's extra space on here, I keep it because I'm going to use it somewhere. So I want to have my picket fence pocket die. And then I also need to have my A2 diagonal stitched card toppers. And so we're going to get this going. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead with my picket fence pocket die, and I'm going to cut that out of this really pretty purple color. Actually, you know what? Let me try something. I might do this a little bit different than I did the first one. Let me get a couple of pieces out of here. I think I'm going to use on the front of this one, on the front of the other one I used Be Sweet. But on the front of this one I think I'm going to use Happy Day. And so I don't think I'm going to use this color. I think I'm going to grab one of my other colors, and I think I'm going to grab this one here because I think this will be really pretty. I think that'll look really great with that. Doesn't it look good? All right. So same concept, but we're going to do it slightly different. Fresh take on it. Just trim off a little piece of this. You want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? What is that from?
I don't know.
I don't know what it's from. I just remember little sayings from movies, and I don't know why. I don't always know what they are either. Oops, that just moved all over the place. My goodness, I'm kind of clown-like today. Let me put a little bit of tape on there. There we go. Now I don't have to worry about it. All right, here we go. Let the magic happen. I'll tell you, it really is like magic. I still get all excited when I die cut something for the very first time because I can't wait to see how it's going to look. And it still amazes me that it's like the coolest thing. Hats off to Stacy, Karen, and Jeff, Karen, yep, for creating this for us all. They are the inventors of it with Spellbinders. They were the original owners of Spellbinders. Very sweet people, friends of mine. Okay. All right, so now I have that. Is my little fence. How cute. And then I also need, put the fence away. Need to die cut one more thing. This fence, again, if you don't already have it, it's a go-to. You're going to be seeing me use that all the time. So now this is my diagonal stitched layered card toppers, and I'm going to choose the second one, the one that's in the center. Let me see how that's going to fit. See how that fits on there nicely? The other one, the largest one would be too big. So we're going to go with die number 2. And then for a really nice frame, we're going to pull something from its counterpart, which is the frame set. And let me see where's my, here it is. Let me use my Happy Day thing here and see how that's going to fit. I think I need the second die. So when these are laying like this one looks nice in there. I think that's going to work nicely. Okay? I need a piece of my cardstock over there. Can you give me a piece of Nina, please?
I can.
Can you give me a piece of Nina?
Trina has a question.
Okay,
for
Trina
you.
has a question. I have both sets of the stitched and diagonal light layer card toppers and love them. Any chance you'll come out with a crisscross set? Ooh, I like that. I think that's a great idea.
What are you looking for?
Give me a sheet of Nina cardstock.
Here.
Thank you, Trina. I love that idea. So, Facebook user, I can't see who this is, says, I don't know all of Angie's secrets, but manual die cutting machine plates stay flatter than electric plates just because of the amount of pressure exerted from the machine. It's a huge help to rotate your plates too. Personally, I only cut into one of my plates. The top plate is always clean. I flip my bottom plate each time, and that helps them stay flat. When my bottom plate starts to crack, I use, okay. So I don't know who wrote that. I'm going to say that I don't know. Somebody's saying that the manual die cutting machine plates stay flatter than the electric plates because of the amount of pressure exerted from the machine. I don't know. I mean, that's not my experience. I say that because when I'm crafting here, I'm using a manual plate. I'm using my Spellbinders. But I always use a Big Shot electric. That's what I always use. And my plates are fantastic. For me, my trick, whether I'm using a manual or an electric, I always have the blade side down. So here's my blade. I have the blade side down, and I cut into the blade that's on the base. That means that it's going to cut into the one that has a good solid flat surface behind it. When you do that, this one is actually the one. When you do that, it's not going to be creating, it's not going to have a place to bend. It's not going to be bending up. If I had my blades up and I cut into this one here, it's going to create weakness, and as I roll over it, the pressure is going to cause it to curl and bend up. I will say I do alternate my top plates, back and forth just out of habit, and I still do get a little bit of curvature to my top plates, but they don't bend a whole lot. The only time I cut with my blades up is if I'm cutting something that is intricate. These are not what I would consider to be intricate. So that's my little trick, whether I'm using an electric or a manual. So that's just based on my experience. So, it's not necessarily, true, false, or, the way to go. It's just my experience. That's all. Okay.
Or the grand caliber doesn't work at all. That's why I like them the best.
Oy vey.
That's why they're my favorite.
Alan loves the grand caliber machine. I'm going to trim this one down a little bit. Okay. So paper, blade side down, blade side down. And I am going to tape these because I want them to stay in a certain place. My tape is the mint tape from scrapbook.com. It is my new favorite. And I pray that they do not change what they're doing with it because I love it. Make sure that's centered. Tape those together so they stay. What's up, Alan?
I'm just wondering what you're doing. You're making like a frame for the front?
I am making a frame, my darling.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm doing. It's going to be picture perfect in the front.
Look at that.
It's hard to do a manual, there we go, a manual cut when I'm sitting down so close to the machine. I can't get over the top of it. Okay, let's see how that did. Ta-da! Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's a great machine. Love this machine. Alrighty. I love this machine so much that I bought another one. Because like I said, I use my Big Shot electric one all the time. And then I got this one, and so I am using this one a lot more. Alright, so let me get my little pieces off of there. So between these two dies, I have created 2 die cuts, and when I remove the center, I have a little frame. Save this center, because this one we're going to use on the inside of our card somewhere. Alright, so now we're going to start decorating just a little bit. This is going to go on the front, so I'm going to pop that up with some foam. Always good to have foam on hand in your craft room. And let's see, my foam is going to have to be cut in half because my foam is wider than each of these little, the sides of my frame. So I am going to cut this in half, but with these amazing Fiskars scissors, these are not going to stick to this. Love it. Such good stuff. Flip that over so the tape goes on the back side. There we go. And I need another piece that is roughly, maybe a little shorter. All right, and we're going to cut this one in half. There we go. And that one. All right, so this is going to create just a pretty little frame that I think is kind of fun on the front. And I still want to see, let me make sure I have this on the front and not on the back. I still want to have a nice kind of even placement on it, so I get a little bit of, edge. It's centered a bit from top to bottom and right to left. Place that down. There we go. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this, and I'm going to use a liquid adhesive for this, so I'm going to use our craft glue. I'm using a liquid because I want to have a little bit of freedom of placement, maneuverability. Is that a word?
Sure.
Maneuverability. Just loosely, and then make sure that I get it centered before I am done. I tuck the edge up underneath there a little bit. There we go. I think I should have used the smaller one on the inside of here. That's how I did it on the first one, but it'll still work. Okay, next up, we have this. Look how cute that is. So I'm going to place this a little bit different than I did before. I'm going to get a little bit of adhesive just on the end of each of these. Oops. And then along the bottom. I just know if I do not put the top on that, I'm going to have trouble. And let me come into camera 3.
Yep. Someone's asking about new pocket pals coming out.
Yes, we do have new pocket pals coming out.
Someone also asked about next exclusive kit.
We've got both of those coming out. We're currently waiting on, here's what I will tell you. These days we deal with a lot of manufacturing and shipping things, supply chain issues and stuff like that. So we do have a new exclusive kit coming out. We also have a new collection that's going to be coming out. The exclusive kit is probably going to be announced in the next couple of weeks. The new collection is scheduled to go live on May 16th. So we still have a little ways on that. But we will be announcing it as soon as we can. All right, so let's see. What else are we going to do here? Let's grab some of these babies, because I love this stuff. Look how beautiful. Oh my goodness. I love working with all of these little ephemera pieces. Does sweet fit on here? Not really. It's a little bit long, but it sure is cute, isn't it? Let's see. I just think it's so much fun. Does life? See, I don't think life is going to show up very well on there. It actually kind of does. It looks pretty, doesn't it? Do you like life or sweet? Which one is better, life or sweet on the outside? Help me out. I think because this hangs over, I'm not going to do sweet. I think I'm going to put life on here, though. I like life, so we'll go with life. Where's my glue? Here it is. Oh, everybody's saying sweet. So some people are saying life. Ah, yeah, I'm going to go with life because I worry that if it hangs off the edges, it's going to get destroyed over time. There we go. There we go. Nice and easy. Isn't ephemera easy? I love it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Put a pretty red in there. Little flower up there. It's kind of pretty. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Gorgeous, George. All right, so we need a bunny. What bunny? How about this little bunny? I think this is the one that I used on the first one that I did. And I want a couple of little flowers to go up in the corner. And check this piece out. This is one of my favorite pieces in here. I love this. This is not just one big piece. This is actually several pieces. So this actually breaks apart into 3 different pieces. Isn't that cool? Happy day. And what I did was I chose, what did I choose? Every day is a happy day. And here's what I did. I went like this, and I put it, but I did it differently on the other one. I can't really do it on this one because I cut the little window differently on this one. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I actually cut it, see, I trimmed it here, and I trimmed it down here, and then I covered it. But the problem is I cut this window smaller on the first one that I did. And on this one, I did it bigger. So it doesn't sit quite the same. But you know what I could do? I could put some of this beautiful piece on here. That could work really nicely. So I'm actually going to, ooh, do I want to? You know, I'm gonna get my paper trimmer, I think, and cut this right across here. Eek gads, what did I just do? Let's see how this works. That's gonna go there. Maybe a little too high. I can lower that down. All right, I need to go a little more on an angle. See, this is where I just kind of play. And I think it's fun. Let's see how that works out. Oh, look at that. That works out nicely. And I can move it over here a bit. And then right here, I can trim it, and then I can put a pretty flower. And right here, it's going to go straight across. See what I'm doing? Right here is going to go straight across, and I can put a flower there or a strawberry or something. Just use a little bit of that. Move that over like so. Look how pretty that is. I like it. I'm whispering so people don't hear me. Get some adhesive on all those little bits. There we go. I've got a little bit of paper here. Sorry, I got a little bit of paper here I need to trim off of there. Okay. Put that right up against that edge. Oh, look how cute that is. That looks really cute. I like that a lot. And I can put a really pretty flower there, like a purple one. How about that? There you go. How about a little bunny? We need bunny. Let's get some foam under this bunny. Give him a little place. There you go. That's going to work. A little bit of adhesive on the outer edge of him. And then press him down so that foam grabs. Look how cute! Adorbs. Now we need, and we're almost done, we need something up here, like some little flowers up here. Do I want a strawberry? No. No strawberry. Let's see, what flowers do I have? Happy Day. I could put blue up here. Let's just do a blue flower up there. See, this is what I do. This is how it just kind of starts to go by. Time just flies because you just kind of keep playing, grabbing things. There's no stamping, minimal die cutting. It's just all really easy and fun. I love working with this ephemera. It is just so pretty. How about that one there? Gorgeous. Gorgeous, George. Okay. Now the last thing we need on the front is some little dots. This is what I have left over. This is what I've been playing with. This is my open one. Open, open, open. I've only got a few left in here. Let me grab these out of here. All right, I don't have a little tool right now, so I'm just going to grab them with my fingernails and pop them on there. Look how cute. Let's do a pink one in the middle of the blue. Doesn't matter what color's on the center there. I can put whatever color I want, right? There you go. Very cute. Very cute. Let me move everything out of the way. So here's the one that I already did. Here's the one that I'm starting for you guys right here. So two similar but very different looks to them just because I changed up the paper and I put, I mean it still kind of has the same flow, but they look very different because we changed up, you know, the little pieces that we did, and we changed up the papers, and it's just a super, super cute and fun book. So next week I'm going to show you, I'm not going to be able to show you the entire inside. Oops, one of my little bead thing, enamel dots. I'm not going to be able to show you the entire inside, but I'm going to show you how I create it, and I'm going to decorate a couple of pages, and then you guys can go off and create your own, and you can finish all of your pages on your own as well. So, looky, aren't they so cute? So somebody was asking about the little planner that I did. So this is, I'm assuming this is the planner that you were talking about. And this uses the same papers, same ephemera. It does use some of our low cluster dies here. And then this is our peony layering die. And it uses the same machine that I'm going to show you. If anybody wants to know, I'll show you the machine in just a second. So this is the little planner that I did. I haven't decorated any more on the inside because I just haven't had time. But isn't that so pretty? So, so cute. And I literally didn't cut any of the paper. This is just 6x6 paper. So, so fun. So if anybody's wondering, let's go back to camera 2. This is the machine that I use. It's my little my mini cinch. This is from We Are Memory Keepers, and I love this machine. That's what I use to create, you know, the rings here, to do this one as well, and to do this one. And I just think they're so fun and really easy to do. I love them. I'm going to show you how to do that next week, and we'll get you started, and then you guys can go off and create your own. A couple more things I do want to show. In case you didn't see these on our blog, these are a couple of beautiful cards that that Kathy, who's on our design team, actually made these 2 cards. They're almost strictly done with ephemera. This is an envelope too that she decorated using the One Fine Day ephemera. So you can do little books like these. You can do teeny tiny little mini books like this one, right? You can do 6x6 planners, or whatever size planner you want for that matter if you get the larger papers. And you can also decorate beautiful cards and envelopes, all with the ephemera and the paper. We've even got some of the foiling in the back on this one as well. So lots of fun, incredibly versatile set. So Alan, you want to come back to camera? There we go, yay, hi. All right, so everybody, I know we've gone over, and I do apologize for that, as well as, you know, the trouble we were having, the, you know, technical stuff that we were dealing with earlier. So, but thank you guys for those of you who stuck with me. Don't forget, we're going to be doing some more of this book next week. Oh, we have a giveaway we need to do for everybody who got a little comment out there. I think we should give away the One Fine Day ephemera. What do you think of that? One Fine Day ephemera pack. Yay! So I need you, Miss Hunt, please, to choose a name. We need a winner.
Alexia Lynn.
Alexia Lynn?
Why not?
Alexia Lynn, you are the winner of the One Fine Day ephemera. Woo! Alexia, please, if you will, I need you to send us your complete name and mailing address. Send it to customer service at ldrscreative.com, and we will get your One Fine Day ephemera out to you right away. Yay! And then you'll get to make some of your own projects with it. So exciting. Congratulations, and thank you for playing. Everybody, don't forget, we've got another Friday Frenzy that is going to be starting tomorrow. And Frenzy.
Is it French?
Yes, it's French. It's Friday Frenzy. Starting tomorrow. If you want to know what that is, make sure you are subscribed to our emails. If you don't know how to subscribe to our emails, go to our homepage and go to the bottom of the homepage, and you can subscribe there if you don't see the little pop-up that comes up on the screen. Another thing, if you're on YouTube, please do us a favor and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That helps us out, and it'll also guarantee that whenever we post something on YouTube, you'll always be notified. So anyway, all right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will be back next week, and we're going to work on the inside of this little book. So that will be part 2 of our 2-part series. Good night, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me, and thank you for your patience tonight while we enjoyed some technical difficulties. Bye for now. Have a great night and a fantastic weekend.